I don't think any of us want to return to 2020, but this kind of brings us back to 2020, except with a little bit of an update for the Yeezy 700 V3 Mono Safflower. And as you guys can see, you will have an additional set of laces, and these will come in handy a little later on, so stay tuned. So what's new in 2022? A few things. First, let's start with the prime knit upper. That Safflower pops a little bit more. Of course, it's beneath the TPU cage. This cage is more translucent than the 2020 cage. Make note of that. On the heel, you have the same Adidas branding. The midsole is far more white and less tan / cream than it was in the past. Now, again, this cage will glow. It will have an orange glow, and that is not present, unfortunately, in this video. You have the tan toe box that moves up to the all black tongue infinity lacing system, and we'll come back to that as well. But that truly breaks up the bright and bold color of the Safflower. And then on the interior for the sock liner, you have Adidas, Yeezy, and Ortholite. If we flip it over, you have a new gum outsole again, which is different, and you have the EVA foam encased beneath that. Here it is beside the other V3 I own, well, one of the two, Arzareth or Arzareth, just depends on how you choose to pronounce it. I love how bold both of these colorways are. Again, the V3 I think is very underrated, but a great model, and it's pretty much a one-for-one if you're looking at both of the colorways. But, you know, my Warrior's heart is very excited, and yeah, let's return to this whole lace thing. I wasn't really feeling the infinity laces on these, so I did something about it. All right, got my extra laces, some scissors, and now it's time to do what you can't undo. And yeah, that's cut the infinity laces. Now they give you this option, so why not? This is the sneaker without any laces present, and then here they are laced. Now I sometimes do a dead stock knot with any of the shoes that I wear, but you can also tie these, and later on in the video you'll actually see these tied when on foot, so just kind of keep that in mind. But here's myself just putting in the dead stock knot, which I do in quite a few pairs that I own as stated. There's just something about the traditional look of laces on a sneaker. I get some of us have slip-on sneakers. I do as well. I own Vans, but I still like the ability to have the laces present on the V3. And again, you have that option. So please sound off. Do you keep the infinity laces on your V3, or do you actually cut them and swap them out? I also cut my 500 highs. Impossible to get on without cutting them, at least for me. We know the V3 doesn't feature boost. That's a downside of this sneaker, and for some it probably steers them away from the model altogether, because the V1 and V2, both coveted models, feature boost. These only have EVA foam, but they're still a really comfortable fit on foot all day. I've worn these while being on my feet all day with zero problems. Now I will also say this, the fit is a tad bit tighter. I went up a half size. You can also go up a whole size.
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl TJ back. Another video on Talks with TJ. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to take a look at the Yeezy 700 V3 Mono Safflower, but also let's show a little appreciation to this fitted right here. It was part of the Dia de los Muertos pack with Lids and Lids hat drop, so definitely appreciate them for sending this over. Love the pink build, just one of my favorite hats now. Okay, so hat aside, the brand new 700 V3 to drop to some feels like a lazy release, just because we literally saw, or it feels like we saw this in 2020. Now, the original Safflower for the V3 model dropped 1 week prior to my birthday in 2020 on November 14th. And if you think back to that pair, of course, there are some subtle differences with this one. Let's just go over those, even though I don't have the 2020 pair. The differences are subtle enough where quite a few people passed on the Mono Safflower. They said, I already already have the Safflower. Why do I need this? But with the differences, first off, the outer sole, you have a gum bottom on there. No one's really seeing your outer sole unless you're purposely kicking your foot up. We see it in videos and pictures, but in everyday life, you don't really see it. So the outer sole is different. The midsole itself, it doesn't have more of that cream tan hue to it. Instead, it's really just, I won't say it's stark white. It feels like it is ecru, like a shade darker than stark white, but it's a much lighter midsole. The cage, of course, glows a little bit differently, but then with the rest of the shoe, that's kind of it, and it's a tiny bit different, but it's really it. Like, you have the prime knit upper, you have the translucent cage, that's what the V3 is known for, and of course boost is not present. You have the EVA foam present for the cushioning system in the model itself, but it still works. Now, if you're someone like me, you don't have, again, the model or the pair from 2020, so you have the 2022 pair. And honestly, when brands choose to release pairs like this, it means for those that didn't have the original, you now have a chance. So I see zero problem with it at all. But I totally get some people thinking like, hey, this is a little bit of a lazy release when it comes to Yeezy. Yeah, no argument there. When it comes to the 700 V3 itself, it's probably the least loved when it comes to the 700 line itself by Yeezy, but I don't know, part of me would love to still slide this in behind the 700 V1, just because the V2 is going to give you the exact same thing. In terms of the V1, I will say this though, comfort is still better on the V1. I said that in my static video. Comfort is still better on the V1 than for the V2, and I appreciate that the V3 is a little bit out there. Now, I'm not saying I love all of the models that are more futuristic. Save the 450. It is not for me in any way, shape, or form, but I greatly appreciate the V3, and I love the yellow tones present in the actual shoe. We're in spring. We're going to head into summer very soon before we know it. And this is perfect to rock with so many different lighter tone fits. Again, I appreciate that. Now, also as a sports fan, I'm starting to acquire more apparel that doesn't necessarily have branding associated with it. Let's say like Nike, since they sponsor, of course, NBA or Jordan Brand, even for Michigan. So having that in the collection now, in terms of like clothes that don't have that branding on it, I can wear it with any number of shoes. I can wear it with the Michigan Dunks, or I can choose to rock my apparel with the brand new V3 Mono Safflower. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and take a look at how I choose to style this pair 3 different ways. Starting left to right, like we always do, something spring ready. So I'm wearing American Eagle super distressed shorts, just a basic H&M t-shirt in black, the H&M lightweight blazer, and then of course the V3s. Warriors love forever and always, so I'm wearing the 2,974 3-point field goal made hat to celebrate Steph Curry, the heavyweight Splash Brothers shirt, a light wash denim jacket, and Tiro 19 pants. Finally, black Taylor N17 cargo pants, the Run DMC Adidas 1982 crew neck, and a fitted to top it all off. And of course, there's been a change when it comes to how pairs are distributed or rolled out, especially when it comes to some of them being confirmed only. We're seeing that. But if that's not the case, be sure to support your local boutiques. Doesn't matter where you may be located, because some of them, of course, will have stock available if you are local, but they'll also run raffles if you are out of state. And absolutely be sure to check out Clicks and Sneaks. That information will be featured in the description box of this video, so be sure to check them out. And please give me your thoughts again on the V3 model just as a whole, on the new release of the Mono Safflower, and then also your thoughts on the fits and what's next up on your list. Please be sure to comment that. Engage. Love talking with you guys. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.